This is Tom Biernacki, and today I'm going over foods that if people stopped eating, 90% of diabetes worldwide would be solved. And we're starting right now. This is a huge list. We're going over the myths and the misconceptions, the false fake studies that people have been fed. This is where literature is heading. I'm not saying it's perfect, and I'd love to hear your opinions. We're reading tons of books, tons of resources, and leading authorities. This is the best list I've been able to come up for me and my patients. Tell me what you think. You want to read your food labels because fat-free foods are usually high on the glycemic index. So these are generally 70 to 100. That means it's gonna spike your blood sugar, it's gonna cause inflammation in your body, damage your arteries, damage your nerves, and is full of processed garbage sugars. Reduced fat salad dressings. Same kind of thing. Instead of fat, they're a cardiac crime because they're a hidden source of sugar and salt that make your salad unhealthy. Artificial sweeteners. These, even though they're not full of calories, they can cause cravings. There are some more natural options, and studies now show fat is not as bad as previously reported. These are ones that are high on the glycemic index, which spike your blood sugar. These are maple syrup, honey, agave nectar, ketchup, barbecue sauce, processed snacks. You have your pastries. These are high in fat, sugar, and white flour. These boost your sugars. Store-bought energy bars, candy bars. These are all full of sugars. For example, a single Three Musketeers bar has 3 tablespoons of sugar. That's almost 40 grams of pure sugar, which is huge. This sugar is tied to atherosclerosis and heart disease. Over 50% of people over the age of 45 have atherosclerosis. Sugar is the #1 cause. For snacks, I love to eat nuts, avocado, and I have a great video on my favorite filling secret drink with secret ingredients that I drink every morning to fill myself up. So check that video out. Breakfast foods, fruit and sugar flavored yogurt. It's not a great option. 14 grams is a full tablespoon loaded of sugar. So count that on your food label. Granola with added sugar, same kind of thing. Ton of sugar in there. Even though they have some nutrients and some fiber, it really comes down to the sugar destroying those benefits. Take a look at the glycemic index in these cereals. These are marketed as healthy, but these are like instant blood sugar rushes into your veins and your arteries. So be careful eating these marketed healthy cereals. Anything over a glycemic index of 50, I would still consider fairly unhealthy for you, especially as a diabetic. Take a look at these. These are the majority of what's considered healthy cereals. They're still not great for you. On the other hand, good cereals are basically the non-instant oatmeal brand type cereals. This is what's good for you. It's not any of the commercial marketed cereals that people are usually eating. Milk and milk alternatives. Milk is great when you're getting it from your mom and you're getting it directly from the cow, but that's not what's happening today. Skim milks are possible, zero fat milk. Skim milk it's not filling. It does have a little bit of protein, but not enough to offset the sugar, most likely. Adding that to sugary cereals, that's a horrible breakfast. Skip that. That's not good for you. I don't think that's even debatable at this point. Nutella spreads, same kind of thing. Ton of sugar in there. These breakfast blends and spreads, putting jams, Nutella, these high sugar peanut butters on there, they're not good for you. Animal fat. These are actually a myth. Some studies show if you eat too much saturated animal fats, yes, they are unhealthy, but eaten in moderation as part of a balanced diet, for example, like eating a steak or something, can fill you up. It's got a lot of protein, and it's generally pretty healthy for you. Fried food and meat, yes, that's unhealthy for you because seed oils and vegetable oils can be unhealthy because they raise the inflammation in your body. And fried foods, a little bit of healthy meat in the middle and a lot of unhealthy fried material on the outside. Fried foods had a higher risk of death from coronary artery disease. Here's another one too, butter. That's an animal fat. It's not that bad. A 2016 study found that there's very little link between butter consumption and heart disease. Margarine was pushed in the past, but now margarine recently is a villain because of all the additives and saturated fat and trans fat in there. Now it's thought that butter is better than margarine. Nitrates got a bad rap. They were used as a food additives to stop the growth worth of bacteria. The difference is, now looking at studies, nitrates were added to low quality meats. These lower quality meats and foods have shown that these people have more problems. That's kind of been disproven with nitrates. And not only that, we make nitrates in our saliva. So in our cheeks right now, we keep making nitrates, so processed meats. Processed meats are now loaded with sugar. They're ground up. They're the bottom of the barrel. These are sausages, hot dogs, salami, cheap quality ham, cheap quality bacon, all this kind of stuff. Instead of eating those, get some high quality lean meats, like good quality chicken breast, good quality steak, good quality beef, good quality turkey. Trans fats. Trans fats used to probably be the worst thing. They're literal poison because they're partially hydrogenated fat. They were used to preserve things in bakeries, microwave popcorn, like microwavable pizza, that kind of stuff, and your body cannot digest them, so they get stuck in your body causing damage. These are also in liquid vegetable oils, but in 2020, they've been banned. Nutrition and fiber poor foods. I'm gonna include this one, salt. Salt is an important part of the diet. This is not something you wanna avoid all the way, but if you have heart issues, kidney disease, and blood pressure, you want to limit it, but salt being bad for you is a myth. Salt in outrageous quantities is bad for you, and it's bad for your blood pressure, but salt in reasonable amounts is pretty good. So that brings us to foods like potato chips. New England Journal of Medicine called potato chips the single worst food in America because you can eat a ton of it, it gives you no nutrition, no fiber, and it puts on a ton of calories without necessarily feeling full. And this includes potato chip-like snacks, Cheetos, veggie straws, Doritos, healthy chips, fat-free chips. Check the back for fiber, nutrients, proteins, queso dips, and cream-based dips. Instead, here's the snacks I like. Nuts in moderation. I love my filling drinks below. I also love low-calorie soup broths. I heat them up in a large mug, add some spices to them. That bloats you, gets you full. That, white rice and white bread. Processed rice and bread ranks well up there in the highly processed carb category. This can increase your belly fat. It's high on the glycemic interest. Eat some nuts instead. Now we're getting to the more serious stuff. Sugary drinks, flavored milk. I already mentioned skim milk is tough. It's not very good for you. Fruit smoothies. I see a lot of great fruit smoothie places. And listen, fruit smoothies are great in nutrients, but they're high on the glycemic index. You don't get full, and they don't have fiber. What we talked about fruits being good for you in the past, that's not true with the fruit juices because that's a high glycemic, high insulin spiking food in most cases. But let me clarify, these are the types of low quality juices with the high glycemic index that I'm talking about. If you actually take good fruit in a blender and mix it up like this, studies do show that 100% real fruit blended does not correlate with bad diabetes. So just like eating good fruit, eating 100% fruit smoothies that are blended is actually good for you. So apologies to fruit. Fancy coffee drinks. This is a guilty pleasure of mine, going to Starbucks, but sometimes look at the numbers, 1,000 calories. Like we're talking 4 to 8 tablespoons of sugar in some of these frappuccinos. Like, I mean, these are some of the most delicious things I've ever had, but they're some of the worst things for you. Sports drinks, 95% of diabetics 99, I would say, don't need electrolytes, stick to water. There's like 6 tablespoons of sugar in some of these huge cups. This could destroy your diet for a day just drinking one of these. Soda. The Journal of American College of Cardiology meta-analysis looking back found that all sweetened drinks significantly more likely to die of atherosclerosis, high risk of diabetes, heart disease. These are poisonous, along with like potato chips and stuff. Diet soda. I'm a huge fan of carbonated water. I love my soda stream. Carbonation is not bad for you. Carbonation has been shown not to hurt your bones, not to hurt your teeth, has been shown to be relatively healthy for you. Alcohol. Enjoying the occasional alcoholic beverage is great, but if you live with chronic illnesses such as diabetes, peripheral neuropathy, poor blood flow, alcohol should be completely avoided. Trick is, this should be a motivator for you to get healthy. If you can drop your diabetes fairly quickly and you're healthy, you can go back to drinking alcohol then. Smoking. You already know, you've been told enough. Quit smoking if you're doing it already. Getting into the worst absolute stuff is added sugar and high fructose corn syrup foods. I hate what's going on in society. Companies with a lot of money get away with crap. And crap is paying for studies. So foods that are otherwise healthy, they have been suppressed, and the negative side effects of all these sugary foods, for some reason, they're still allowed. Like these poisonous foods should be banned, just like trans fat was banned, but it's not. Why? Because a lot of people are making money on it. That's why. Hey, guess what? We have a phenomenal book. I believe this is the premier book on chronic nerve pain and peripheral neuropathy pain on the planet. I've put years of work seeing tens of thousands of peripheral neuropathy patients, working with some of the best diabetic endocrinologists, the best doctors, the best neurologists, in building out this book. For you, my viewers, we have a discount code available. Get on our mailing list and get that book down here.